Hello students, in this series 10 minutes quick revision, we are revising the principles of inheritance and variation chapter number 5. If you like the video, do subscribe it. So let's get started. Based on the observation on monohybrid crosses, Mendel proposed two general rules. One was law of dominance and one was law of segregation. This law of dominance explains the expression of only one character in F1, that is dominant character, and both in F2, dominant as well as recessive. It explains the phenotypic ratio 3:1 at F2. According to this law, factors control characters and occurs in pairs like capital T and small t. These are two factors. In a dissimilar pair of factor, one dominates the other like capital T, small t. So in this pair, capital T is dominant and small t is recessive. So capital T is dominant over small t. Next law, that is law of segregation. According to this law, factors or alleles of a pair, they segregate during the gamete formation during meiosis, and a gamete receives only one of the two. Second, alleles do not show any blending as the characters which was not seen in F1 is also expressed in F2. Next topic, that is incomplete dominance. It was objection to the Mendel's law of inheritance because in the F1 generation, in incomplete dominance, dominant allele do not completely express itself. So here you can see a cross between the dog flower or snapdragon. One of the parent is having red colored flower and one of the parent is having white colored flower. And in F1 generation, pink color appears instead of red. So here the dominant allele is not completely expressing itself. The reason for this incomplete dominance is gene interaction, and gene interaction can be of two types, intragenic and intragenic. But in this case, intragenic gene interaction is the reason, where two alleles of a gene present on the same gene locus on the homologous chromosome, they react, or you can say they influence each other, they interact with each other to produce the modified phenotype. Some other example, multiple allelism and codominance. But here we must know that it is not blending because the red and white color, they reappear into the F2 generation. Here we need to remember that in incomplete dominance, the phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio in F2 generation, they are same, 1:2:1. Till now we have talked about the complete dominance, recessiveness and the incomplete dominance. But what is the concept behind this dominance? Let's see. Genes which are the hereditary unit, they exist as a pair of alleles, and when the two alleles, they are not identical like the capital T, small t, or you can say capital R, small r, as in heterozygote condition, one of the two alleles is modified, and this modified allele could be responsible for number 1, formation of less efficient enzyme, number 2, a non-functional enzyme, number 3, no enzyme at all. In the first case, the modified allele is equivalent to the unmodified allele. It means it will produce the same phenotype. But if that allele produces a non-functional enzyme or no enzyme, the phenotype may be affected and the recessive trait is seen due to the non-functional of enzyme or because no enzyme is produced. Another example of intragenic gene interaction is codominance, where both the alleles express themselves independently when present together. It means both of them will show their characters together. Example of codominance is ABO blood grouping in humans. ABO blood group is also an example of multiple allelism. We will see it later. In ABO blood grouping, I gene, it controls the ABO blood grouping. And how? Because it controls the kind of sugar polymer present on the plasma membrane of RBC. This I gene has three alleles, IA, IB and small I. Capital IA and capital IB, they are somewhat different because they produce a slightly different form of sugars. But small I, it doesn't produce sugar at all. Capital IA and capital IB, they dominant over small I. And because humans, they are diploid organism, they will possess only two of the three alleles. Here in the table we can see that if capital IA allele comes from the parent number 1 and capital IA comes from the parent number 2, then the genotype of the offspring will have capital IA, capital IA. So the blood group will be A. Similarly, if genotypes are like capital IA and capital IB, it will be AB blood group, capital IA, small I, that will be A blood group, capital IA, capital IB, it will be AB blood group, and capital IB, capital IB, it will be B, capital IB, and small I, it will be B blood group, and small I, that blood group will be O. In the case where O blood group is there, no sugar is present on the plasma membrane of the RBC. ABU blood grouping is also an example of multiple allelism. In multiple allelism, more than two alleles governing the same character, as the blood group is determined by three alleles, capital IA, capital IB and small I. So there are three alleles which are determining one character, that is blood group. We have talked about the incomplete dominance, codominance and multiple allelism. These three are the example of intrazenic interaction. So as we have seen that in multiple allelism, more than two alleles, they will govern a single character. But in pleiotropy, a single gene product may produce more than one genotype or one effect. Let's see the example for this pleiotropy. Like the starch synthesis or the starch grain size in pea plant and starch grain shape in pea plant. These are the two characters which are determined by a single gene product or genotype. So first character is grain size and second character is grain shape. In starch grain size, incomplete dominance is seen, whereas in starch grain shape, complete dominance is seen. If the genotype is capital B, it means that grain will be of large size and it will have round shape. If the genotype is capital B, small b, the starch grain size of intermediate and the shape is round. In small b genotype, the starch grain size is of small size and the shape is wrinkled. So we can see here that for the starch grain size, incomplete dominance is seen. Neither of the two alleles are dominant over each other. Dominant allele is not completely expressing itself. That's why in the heterozygote condition, the size of the grain is of intermediate. Neither it is large or small in size. But in grain shape, complete dominance is seen where either the round or the wrinkled phenotype is seen. Still now we have talked about the law of dominance and law of segregation, which were based on the monohybrid cross. Now we will be talking about the third law, that is law of independent assortment, and it is based on dihybrid cross, or we can say inheritance of two genes. According to this law, when the two pairs of traits like the round and wrinkled is one pair of trait and yellow and green, this is the second pair of trait, they are combined in a hybrid in F1 generation, then the segregation of one pair of character is independent of the other pair of character. Let's see how. Considering the segregation of one pair of genes, that is capital R and small r, 50% of the gametes they will have capital R and other 50% will have small r. Besides, each gamete having either capital R or small r, it should also have the allele capital Y or small y. The important thing to remember here is that segregation of 50% of capital R and 50% of small r is independent from the segregation of 50% capital Y and 50% small y. Therefore, 50% of small r bearing gametes has capital Y and other 50% has small y. Similarly, 50% of capital R bearing gametes has capital Y and other 50% has small y. Thus, there are four genotypes of gametes: capital R, capital Y, capital R, small r, capital Y, small r, small y, with a frequency of 25%. And using the Punnett square, we can get the phenotypic and genotypic ratio for this cross. So, phenotypic ratio of round and yellow, round and wrinkled, wrinkled and yellow, and wrinkled and green is 9:3:3:1, and genotypic ratio is 1:2:2:4:1:2:1:2:1, or you can remember it like the 12:24:12:12:1. So these were the three laws given by the Mendel for the inheritance of characters. Mendel published his work on inheritance of characters in 1865, but his work remained unrecognized till 1900. And why? Because number one, his work couldn't be widely publicized due to the weak communication means at that time. Second, his contemporaries didn't accept his concept of genes as stable and discrete units that control the expression of traits which didn't blend for the apparently continuous variation seen in the nature. Third, his approach to using maths to explain biological phenomena was not acceptable to the biologist of that time. Last one, he couldn't provide any physical proof for the existence of factors or what they were made of. But in 1900, D. Rees Correns and von Schistmack independently rediscovered Mendel's results on the inheritance of characters. This is all for this video. Now we will be talking about the chromosomal theory of inheritance in the next video. Till then, bye bye, keep learning and do subscribe my channel. Thank you.